Welcome to Women's Wellness Wednesday with your host, Rec Spade. Good evening, Spado.
Hey,
How
hey,
are
Rick.
you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. A little jittery. I'm not sure why. You and I were just backstage, and I think it's because I had just came from an appointment that I was really worried about. Hey, Des, I was
Hey,
really
Jeff.
worried about, and I finally,
Hey, Star.
did something about it. And I wanted to touch on it too because it pertains to women's wellness. So, our guest is figuring some things out. So, I welcome you all in. We are in for a treat this evening. We're going to slow things down a little bit and speak on holistic healing, holistic health, and holistic mindset, and what that looks like in the Chinese practice of acupuncture and some other stuff that I don't want to misspeak on. Our guest is the expert. She is with us. She's working on some things backstage, trying to get to us. So we'll be patient. But in the interim, we will discuss. Hey Toya, we will
Hey,
discuss
Joy.
what appointment I had today. So for a couple of weeks, I have been. Hey Tiff, thank
Hey,
you.
Jeff.
For a couple of weeks, I've been under a little bit of pressure for various things. I don't want to call it stress. I want to call them little moments. I got over them and continued to persevere. Nonetheless, they still occurred. So one of my moments was I was having some issue in my breast, or with my breast, the right one. So it felt a bit dense. I didn't have a necessarily lump. Hey, so
Hey.
I didn't have a lump, but it felt dense, and the nipple area didn't match up with the left nipple. So again, as a woman, I was alarmed. I even did the test where you raise your arms and you feel around. I even called a few girlfriends and showed them my titties because I wanted to see what they thought, or if they, confirm that, yeah, Reek, maybe it does look a little dense, or yeah, Reek, there might be a little something to what you're feeling, to eyes that weren't my own. So this happened for about a month, maybe a month, and the pain or the annoyance was mild. So it wasn't a real big sharp pain. Hello, mama.
Hey.
So it wasn't a sharp pain. Nonetheless, it was there. So I finally bit the bullet and went to go check it out. Now, what I do know about mammograms and such, when I turn 40, is about that time to go do different things that I haven't done before. So what that looks like is mammogram tests. Annually, I believe there's 6 months to a year. I'm not sure, so I don't want to misspeak, but I do know when you reach the tender age of 40, you should start looking into things of that nature. So, what I did was make an appointment. I went to get checked out, if you will. Very nervous. For whatever reason, the mind tends to take over sometimes. And when that happens, mind over matter is a real thing. So I found myself feeling sharp pains. Maybe they were there, maybe they weren't, but I did need to go figure it out. So when I went today, shout out to Women's Axia Health, Dr. Capero. She's amazing. Yes, it's definitely scary. So when I went today at 3, okay, it's definitely important. It's definitely important to go get checked out 35, 40, whenever you feel the need. I got little titties. So I see things differently. They're a little shaped differently, like little teardrops. Very cute. So I went to my appointment today, and she examined me, and all is well. And what she did say was, when I laid back on the bed, that she felt the lymph nodes under my armpit. One was more prominent in the right side than the left side, and the right side is the side that I was having the issue with. But there was no issue. She confirmed that the tissue and the fat, lack thereof, in my titties, which is why I may have felt grainy to the touch, if that makes any sense to anybody. So I wasn't too far left with me feeling something different. My son, who is 3, he just recently stopped nursing, so that had something to do with it too. I didn't have mastocytosis, I think that's what you call it, that is when the breasts are engorged. What I had was, I felt like they looked dense. Needless to say, they were saggy because that's what happens after you breastfeed. Hey, James.
Hey, James.
So, you know, Ladies, don't wait. Don't wait.
Yeah.
El Presidente said, don't wait till you're 40. Um, but I did go check it
Yeah.
out. So at the end of the day, I went to go check it out, and all was well with me. And I'm thrilled. I put on a little blush and all that. I
There you
felt
go. Yeah.
I felt good. Poured me a little bit of wine
There you
because I
go.
felt good. For 3 weeks it was scary. I had other things going on in my life too, other stressors, other moments, and dealing with that on the back burner. So I'm glad I went to get it checked out. All is well, and I'll continue to not wear a bra and be proud with these little titties that are healthy.
There you go.
That's all I got about that for Women's Wellness Wednesday. So again, go get your mammograms. All jokes aside, hello. All jokes aside, you know, take care of yourself. A few women in the comments said, "Don't wait till 40." Shame on me. Again, but I went, and I'm so glad I went. Yeah, I can't have these bitches. Yeah, we need them. I need these joints. They need to stick around for a little bit, small and all. So what else? So Spade, how was your week? What have you been going
My
through?
my week is good. I'm sitting here. Our guest is writing me, so I'm trying to multitask and look at you and trying to help her
I
out
just
at
seen
the
the
same.
private chat. My fault. I'm a curious. Okay, do what
Right.
you do.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna come back in a second. Let me try to help
okay.
her. All right.
Okay. So, in addition to Women's Wellness Wednesday with your mammograms and such, ladies, take care of yourselves. Contacts, take out your contacts. I'm negligent with that. Sometimes we take, our eyes for granted. Take the contacts out at night, put them in your dish, because these are the only two ojos you have. Ojos is eyes in Spanish. So take your contacts out. That's another wellness tip. Go get your physical. You know, I know. Hello, mama. Go get your physicals. It's important to get checked out. It's important to, go see your OBGYN, go your gynecologist, pregnant or not. Go get yourself checked out. Your mental health checks. We have an excellent therapist here on the BEN network. If you don't have a therapist, go get you one. I don't know if she does private services. Shout out to Dom and Andreas. But again, we have various things here on the BEN network that you can reach out to and get services for. Women's Wellness Wednesday, you can always tap in with us privately in a DM and let us know what you're going through. And I'm sure we can pour into you and help you with that mental health, with that inspiration, or with that motivation. In addition, if it's mental health, we can refer you out. So I also want to talk about the merch that we have here on the BEN network. Again, shout out to Dom. She represents her mug, her t-shirt every Monday on Melanated Vibrations. We have merch for available. If you check out the screen below, bigexclusivemerch.com is where you can receive merch for each and every show we have. Melanated Vibrations on Monday. Tuesday, the big exclusive podcast himself. Wednesday with myself, and something special for you next week. Wednesday at 6, we have Women's Wellness Wednesday. We have Thursday, according to Jim, coming all the way out of Wilkes-Barre. We don't discriminate. We around. Friday, we have a young lady out of Florida, Unlatched with Deandra. So again, check out our merch on the website. The information is below. I wanted to tap into candles and cocktails. Cocktails and candles. I have an event on August 12th. We have a live DJ. We have an open bar available. We have food available. You will be able to create and customize 2 10-ounce candles. You will get a ceramic vessel. They're beautiful. I'll show you how to create your candle. I'll show you how to fragrance your candle. We'll have a variety of fragrances to use from. What we use is soy wax when we create our candles, environmentally safe. Our candles, we also accent with botanicals, herbs, or flowers. So again, I urge you to check us out. You can see some of the candle workshops that I've done for birthday parties, girls' night, bridal showers, date night. So cocktails and candles is going to be a thing. Our live DJ is DJ Shadi. Some of you guys may know DJ Shadi. She is familiar, she's a radio host on Heat 100. So look out for Shadi. She's an amazing female DJ. She is on the rise and she is good on the ones and twos. So August 12th, grab your tickets, cocktails and candles. We're going to have a time. We have entertainment. I don't want to give it all away. Again, come check us out. The Flex Room, August 12th, 2023. What else do we have going on here? My book, Building Your Resilience Every Day, The Power of the Five Pillars. Cocktails and candles. Thanks, producer. So this is our flyer here. Definitely join us. It's going to be a great time. I know how to have a great time, and that's what we intend to do. What was I speaking? Oh, my book. So my book will be available on Amazon. So please check it out. Easy read, interactive ebook on resilience, how to show up for yourself, explaining and going into depth the power of the five pillars. What are the five pillars? Energy, future focus, good evening, flexible thinking, strong relationships, and inner drive. So with all five of those pillars, there are testimonials and there are reviews of how, when applied, it saved the day. It can save a life. The resilience is within us all. There's nothing you need to pay for. There's not a subscription you need to subscribe to. You need to tap into yourself and into your wellness, aka women's wellness, and get that thing going. Get activated. Every day isn't going to be roses. I missed, an event yesterday with my team due to losing a friend. And, it was difficult to continue to multitask, show up for yourself. So again, an example of life happening, things happening unexpected. And I'm sorry I missed the event because I really wanted to attend. And I'm also, my head and my heart is with the family and friends of Miss Shamika. So yeah, changing gears. I think our guest is trying to get situated. So with that being said, how is everybody feeling? If I could see who's in the comments to get some feedback, to do some check-ins, to see what people, what you're going through, how your week was, how can we inspire you here on Women's Wellness Wednesday to fill in our gap. We also have Go Grab Lunch today at 6:30. So tap in, share this live, share this stream, have people come in. Holistic healing is on the rise. I'm super excited for our guest, Chinese acupuncture. She has been practicing for 6 years. So, needless to say, she's an expert. She is certified. She does have a brick and mortar where she does practice her holistic healing. There's 3 H's at one time. So how's everybody feeling? Big E, are you around? You want to pop in? Maybe you can discuss how the event went. What did I miss? Hey, Spade.
Hey,
what's going on?
I was working overtime back here trying to get her together, but I think I got it.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. She said she did. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. But I'm back.
So
hi, everybody.
I was just, trying to hold the family together. I hope I didn't.
You did a good job. I heard you.
Yeah, I hope I didn't ramble too much to them, but I do want to emphasize self-care.
Happy birthday, Des. Des' birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday. You live in Maryland. I would love for you to try to come make it. Love it, love it, love it. Shout out to Des. Looking beautiful, girl.
And how much are the tickets?
The tickets are $75. So that includes 2 10-ounce candles, open bar, responsibly. So when I say open bar, there'll be a time where the bar is shut down momentarily for the candle making. And then when we have entertainment, the bar will be shut down momentarily for that piece. Meaning from 7 to 11, we don't want anyone leaving super intoxicated, but we do want people to have the leisure and the variety of drinks top shelf, at their leisure. So the price of the top shelf is included in your ticket. The food, plentiful, DJ included, entertainment, various vendors. So here's our flyer. It's August 12th at the Flex Room in South Philly from 7 to 11. So that's exciting. I also spoke about the merch that we have available for each and every show. The link is down below. Hi, Aunt Deb. How are you? Each week I would try to get stronger by watching your videos, but I have been great because I have bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder, and I take medication. I'm so glad that you tapping in has provided. Hey, Juan. I'm so glad, Erica, that you tapping in has provided that support. I'll definitely send the info. It's on my website. So for the candles, Erica, give me 1 second. For the cocktails and candles, TyrikaBright.com. The tickets can be found there. You can purchase your ticket there. I also have physical tickets available. So if you're local, you can hit me up. I know my cousin Toya, inboxed me today and wanted some tickets. Juan is available. If anybody on the in the air in the audience knows Juan has tickets. Juan is local. I'll have tickets for folks who are at my job. So because I take medicine, my days are much better and I'm in a better place in my life. I also believe in reinventing yourself, and that's what I'm doing. I believe in that too, Erica. I was just telling one of my clients today that it's okay to press the start button whenever you need to. So one may think, oh my gosh, I'm taking 10 steps back. And you're not taking 10 steps back. You're restarting whenever you need to. And it's okay to have a clean slate. Sometimes we don't want to do what we did yesterday. And we don't want to relive yesterday. So we don't. We started over. And there's nothing wrong with starting over. Your day may go from 1 to 100. Maybe this day was like a 15. And that's how I was feeling Monday. My cup was low. My cup was low. So with that being said, Monday wasn't a good day.
My day was horrible too, Rick. My day was horrible that day. I think I hit you and I'm like, you good? Because I'm not. My day was a mess.
It was a rough one.
Yeah, I basically got sent somewhere that I was not trained to be
familiar
at all. I was not trained for another location, another practice of something I don't do. So, and then when I got there, there was nobody to lead me. The person called out. So it was like the blind leading the blind in there. It was a mess. I had to draw blood. I haven't drawn blood in years. But I couldn't say I couldn't do it because I'm trained to do it. Right. So, for somebody to say, oh, no, I can't do it, it's crazy. That's insane because that's what you're trained to do. I was nervous wreck. I was anxious the whole time. I was sweating. I was a mess. And I pulled through.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I wanted to walk out. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. It was like, you asked for this. I'm like, what is that? What do you do with that? Like, it was one of those, like, and there was nobody to say, can I help you?
Can you out of water?
There was nothing. I had nothing. So I faked it till I made it.
Right. And you got through it. So that's a prime example of showing up.
Hard. Hey.
Despite what the circumstances were, despite the person calling out, nobody banked on that. So you still had to show up. You had to.
Yeah, but had you sent someone different, they would have walked out.
You think so?
I did. As soon as I came in the next day, they all said they would have.
Okay.
They would have all walked out. So which makes me think, like, should I have just, walked out? But that's not how I carry it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been that type of person. I'm going to try. Even if I fail, I'm going to try. But to walk out and be a coward like that, I couldn't do that.
You was up for the challenge.
I was not up for the challenge. I was not up for the challenge at all. It was, I would say I'm not right. And that's the thing, is that I did say I was uncomfortable, but they had no one else, whatever. They had nobody else to help them. So I couldn't say, hey, get Nurse Jackie to come in here. There was nobody else there. I was the only one that could do it. Right. So yeah.
You did what you had to do. And shout out to you for showing up for yourself. Being a fish out of water is never easy. But when you put your shades on, and
I didn't have them.
Invisible joints. Invisible joints.
That sucked.
You had to tap in.
That sucked.
You did. And, yeah. And you know what? You know, for the next time, maybe I need to draw some blood. Come over. Let me do some practice joints, because that's how you know.
Rick, I'm not even supposed to be, I work in cardiology where I
That's
don't
what I
have to do
thought.
that.
So I was going to get into that, and I'm just feeling like just because you have your like you passed your phlebotomy piece, I don't do that. Like I'm a
Right.
cardiologist, so I just feel
But
like
it would be insane for somebody to say, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like saying, like, even though I'm retired, I can't help you. You can do it, but you're retired from doing it. Like, you can't say that. So I felt crazy of saying that to a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have probably got a bad review, but I got a great review.
wonderful.
From the manager, from the doctor. So it worked out, but I was stressed, and I'm not going back. Everybody in that office will go before me. Just saying, everybody in that office will go back before I.
So how did you get picked? Like you just got picked to go?
Usually if it's close to me, if a location is closer to me, then I'll be like, okay, like I'll go. And then like, cause I'm closer to certain locations more than others. Okay. So if I can take one for the team, I will. Right. Or if it benefits me in some kind of way, like leaving early. But in that matter, I probably would have rather stayed all day at my job rather than probably left early. Yeah, it was a hassle, and I was a little stressed out.
All right.
Yeah, and I was late to work today.
Oh yeah, you had a few things going on this week.
It seems like when one thing goes wrong,
it snowballs.
Everything else going wrong. Mm-hmm. And it was just one of them days I had a man stop about a duck. Like, I didn't know he put his hazards on and everything. I was late. Like, I wasn't 5 minutes late. I was about 45 minutes late going to work today. And then he's stopping for ducks. I understand you can't hit the ducks.
No, Spade, and the duck crossing is a thing. Like, you need to respect it. They have a sign. Like, it's a thing.
I went around them. Well, yeah. I went around them ducks, and I went around that man. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying, y'all. And if y'all ever had, I don't know, they saying there's duck crossing signs. Anybody know about that? About the duck crossing signs?
Spade, I just confirmed that there's duck crossing signs.
I didn't see one.
There's deer crossing signs.
Okay, I know the deer, right? But I know there was ducks.
Well, yeah, there's definitely duck crossing signs. Now, with agriculture, animals, and all that, you gotta respect it. They make the world go round.
Listen, I don't mess with them deers, man. I don't do deers. Didn't get anything after the StreamYard link. She's saying she didn't get anything. I don't.
After the StreamYard link. Okay. So I want to discuss what it looks like to have real conversations with real women while our guests get situated. So I want to pose a scenario. And on Women's Wellness, this is a safe place to, banter, laugh, cry, and also debate, if you will, because perception is everything. Tiff, our president of the BN Network, shout out to Tiff, she posted a stat earlier and it resonated with me in a few ways. And I enjoyed the stat for a few reasons. And the main reason was because the word perception. So perception is to each its own. And if you tend to look at a situation with rose-colored glasses, it could come across as naive to some. It also can come across as positive and really changing the trajectory of your thought process. Does that make sense?
If you got to repeat that for me one more time.
It's cool. So what I'm talking about is perception. And the question is, are women able to have real conversations with each other? And when I mean real conversations, I mean hard conversations. So I feel like delivery is key. Content is the meat of the conversation. And when that happens, people tend to say, I apologize for the delivery, but not for the content. Because the content was the meat of the conversation. But hard conversations sometimes get sugar-coated by one party because they're not really sure how the other party is going to take it, i.e. the next woman. When you have alpha females, what do hard conversations look like? sometimes alpha females want to get the last word. And okay, no, some women are not. Okay.
We're not respected.
Okay. So to elaborate on that some more though. And when you say they're not receptive, um, that's that's where I'm going with it.
Well, I think that first of all, a lot of times it might be, well, I'm going to say, in my opinion, that I think that sometimes it might be not what you say. Sometimes it is how you say it.
The delivery piece.
Yeah, because you still have to try to be as respectful, of saying something to somebody, no matter if you're not going to sugarcoat it or not. You still have to be, willing to talk to them in a respectful manner. Like, you can't expect somebody to come up to you rah 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 and expect me to listen. I'm not going to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be, you don't have to be, I'm not saying you don't have to be calm, but you cannot come up to somebody, with some rah rah and expect them to listen in a calm manner.
Or delivery can be well thought out and as soft as possible. Some women do not pose the ability to comprehend.
Okay. Yeah, that too.
A mature woman can learn from another woman. That's where I was going. Nor are they willing to hear it. Tiff, you dropping them. So perception is, for me, it comes from experiences. So when I speak or when I give advice, I'm going off of an experience. And through coaching, sometimes you just need to listen, and that person will come to whatever they need to come to on their own, whether your perception is what it is of the situation or not. You got to know who you're talking to. I think that's big too, Star, because along with what Tiffany was saying is some people just don't comprehend it. And then they want validation. They'll ask Tom, Joe, Dick, and Harry, was I wrong? Was I wrong? Was I wrong? Was I wrong? And I struggle with that. Instead of standing on it, knowing, this is what it is and this is what I said. Some people, it tends, you don't want it to come across negatively. Sometimes you have to meet these women where they are so that you can know how to engage with them and that they are receptive. That's true. So I pick and choose my battles. So with that being said, if I know the type of woman I'm dealing with, I'm not going to have certain conversations with that woman because I know that woman, like Tiffany said, can't comprehend it. So does that mean I don't have the hard conversation, ladies? What does that mean? I need feedback. I have my idea of what I feel like an appropriate response would be. But if the person is not willing to be receptive or to receive the hard conversation, what do you do with that? Do you not just have it? Do you dance around it? In a few minutes, we're going to tap into Go Grab Lunch. I just wanted to take a minute to get the juices flowing in a different way. Some people feel like open ears and closed mouths. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when I speak about active listening, that's what I'm referring to. So sometimes in coaching, why is the person your friend or an associate? So hard conversations you have with friends. An associate you really don't have a hard conversation with, in my opinion, because they're an associate. They're here and there. Speak your piece. If they don't receive it, at least you said what was on your mind and you can let it go. Mm-hmm. If they can't understand the hard convo, then maybe reevaluate yourself as to why that person's in your life. Boom. Know your audience. Another gem. So when I speak on hard conversations, because I believe that hard conversations and friendships are necessary, because how do we grow? And just because we may disagree, or just because I may need to say something that I feel as though you need to hear, it doesn't mean that I'm throwing 15 years of friendship out the window. you need to, you know, your audience. You need to know the woman that you're dealing with. It depends on the relationship that you have with the person, because I have some cousins that are ignorant to a lot of things, but I can still talk to them about some of those hard conversations. That's true. So you know who you can have the conversations with. I just wanted to tap into that because on women's wellness, we want to be able to speak our minds. We want to encourage people to be able to do that in the workplace, those hard conversations. We want people to be able to do those in their relationships with family and friends. Say, hey, that offended me, and this is why.
I agree with royalty.
So, let's go back. Some things can't move forward until the hard conversations are had. True.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I was just speaking on. Speaking up for yourself, saying, hey, I didn't appreciate I don't know if you intended to slam the door, or I don't know if the way you went out, the wind did it, but I noticed that when so it's things like those, and that's not a hard conversation. That's just me teasing. But you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just about addressing that.
I mean, and sometimes it's about, even though what you might say, somebody else might not comprehend, but it's not up to you to deal with what they can't comprehend. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm telling you something and you don't understand, and you try to say it different ways, if you don't get it, what am I to do then? I said what I said. You don't comprehend it. What are you to do then?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
sure.
I'm not responsible for what you understand, but I can tell you how I feel.
I'm not responsible. But now, are we?
No.
Because as my friend, as my friend, am I throwing the baby out with the bathwater?
You said what?
That's an old school joint.
Well, what did you say?
Am I throwing the baby out with the bathwater? Meaning,
yeah,
I think I'm right. Don't let one hard conversation just throw away everything. Like, just because we had this situation, does that mean we're done?
But if you're not comprehending what I'm saying, or whoever, if you're not comprehending what the issue is, right? It's going to happen again.
Because it wasn't addressed the first time.
Or they don't understand. So you're going to run into the same issue if a person doesn't understand what the issue is.
Right. But at the same time, if you care about a person, you should take more time to try to find a common ground so that they can get the idea of it. So
absolutely.
I was going along with that. No, you just keep saying, no, you just keeping the baby bath water warm. All right, Des, at least you know what I'm talking about. Royalty, pick a side of the fence and stay there. Shannon, it depends on the magnitude of the situation or concern. I like that. Where I'm going is perception for me. I'm always going to look for the positive in the situation. And I wanted to hear different opinions. I wanted to salute and celebrate everyone who had an opinion on that. But for me, I take pride in looking at the positive in the situation. So for me, if I don't think that it's going to benefit me or the person, I'm not going to have the conversation. Now, what I will do is tap into a strong relationship, vent, get my shit out, understand it, put it to bed, and then don't taint that relationship with that individual who simply couldn't comprehend it.
I agree. I agree with that as well.
People, some right, and some people, like Big E said, "Hey, Miss Sonia." Some people say pick a side, and I'm always going with the positive. Positive Patty. Positive Patty, because positivity breeds triumph. Triumph breeds action. You know what I'm saying? So if I change my train of thought in all aspects, something might change differently. So I don't avoid those hard conversations. What El Presidente said, I'm not avoiding them, and she didn't say to avoid them. But for me, I'm choosing violence from now on. Shannon,
but listen, this is the thing, right? So if somebody comes to you, right, and they want to have a hard conversation with you,
with me,
and and they're hostile. How are you going to take that?
So
But they want to have the they want to have the conversation with you, but they are, they're coming at you a little hostile. How do you even want to hear? Do you want to still hear it, even though they're coming at you in a hostile way?
So I'm not gonna. So hostile means they calling me Reek. So
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna be able to receive anything.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's why that delivery.
We can't.
I'm hanging up.
Right.
Immediately.
Right.
Because you can't talk to me like that.
Now, if you call me and say, Reek, I want to have a conversation, and some people, for whatever reason, they lead with, I don't mean to be disrespectful, or I'm not sure how you're going to take it. That shit burns me up.
Yeah.
So with that,
you already know that I'm not going to take it the right way when you hit me with that.
So, but I don't think people need to lead with that. If I love you and you love me, don't lead with that, because just say what needs to be said. Hard conversations have a time and a place. Yes, John, they do. But if you pick up, hey, Brandy, if you pick up the phone and say, Reek, lead the conversation like we normally do. And then the opportunity, shout out to my mom, the opportunity will present itself. And then you have the hard conversation.
Right.
So for me, leading in love, you can't talk to me in a hostile manner. No, ain't nobody tolerating that.
Right.
But we, when we're excited, we tend to talk over each other. I do it in my relationship all the time, and I love him. But I'm talking over him.
Right.
But we can't hear each other because we're talking
over each other. That right there. You can't hear if y'all both trying to talk, nobody's listening.
Right.
That's that. Yeah.
So I'm choosing. I'm not going to choose violence, Big E. I'm going to choose peace. And peace sometimes also, you have to protect it. So if it doesn't pertain to me and it doesn't fill in my cup, then I'm really not going to deal with it. In addition to, I'm going to pick and choose my battles. If you're not a boss, I'm not talking to you.
Right. And if you're not, and if you're not even, somebody that I really associate with, I think Star said that too. Like, it's not really that deep for me to have those kind of conversations anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I can take it or leave it.
Serve you. Yeah,
I can take it or leave it.
Right. So even with a person you care about, Spade.
What?
Those uncomfortable conversations.
No, I can have, when it comes to people I care about, it's important. I can't move on until I have a conversation with
you. Love that, right? And that's
we can't like sit there and laugh and all that until we get, whether it's them or me. Like, I would hope that somebody with me too. Like, if we need to have that conversation, let's have it, and let's get past it. But a lot of people that I have, close relationships with, like, we got to be able to talk about that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, because I can't go on and act like there's nothing going on. We gotta wrap about that.
And we naturally want to fix it. And that's what I was trying to get to. Right now it's time for Go Grab Lunch. Spado, how we want to do Go Grab Lunch tonight? Go Grab Lunch. Thank you, Big E. Let's let everybody know who doesn't know about Go Grab Lunch. Go Grab Lunch is a nice gesture that we do here on the BEN Network, aka on Women's Wellness Wednesday. We Cash App or Venmo a guest in our audience $20 to go and grab lunch. The reason why it's 20 is because you can definitely DoorDash, Uber, and all that other stuff with a little $15 meal and still get it delivered with the extra $5. So a dub is what we send. And we do that because we want you to do something nice for yourself. The origin of Go Grab Lunch. I spoke with one of my friends, Child Speak, gets in my ass about that with love. Yes, and you should, and she should. So the origin of Go Grab Lunch, many moons ago, when a sister couldn't afford to get lunch, coworkers would treat me to lunch, or if they were ordering and they noticed I wasn't ordering, Rick, you hungry? No, hell yeah, I'm hungry. Why would I be hungry? So instead,
I'm hungry.
Instead of somebody being corny, shout out to the people that I worked with at the Village for a number of years. They would always treat me. So, for me, I'm giving back. And weekly, I give $20 because somebody took the time to do that for me. And I know what it feels like when you're at work and you can't order lunch and you want to, because you got diapers to buy, or you just don't have it to order out because you brought your lunch because it's just not in your budget. So that's where the origin from Go Grab Lunch came from. So if we can have the comments be brought on the screen and we can go ahead and pick somebody. I'd like to pick somebody that we've never seen before. So I'm not sure if we have somebody who
I think there was the person from Maryland. Where's she at? That's someone new.
Erica.
Right?
Yeah.
Erica. She's new, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and gift her Go Grab Lunch. Erica, please reach out to Spado via Cash App. The Cash App will be presented under the screen in a few minutes. Thank you so much. So Cash, you request it from Spado, and she'll make sure you get it.
So I don't think that our guest, I don't know if she's going to make it tonight. We tried everything to try to get her together to try to get this StreamYard, but
okay,
it's not, and I wanted to have her on because I think that would have been, mad dope, but I don't think we tried everything.
Right.
So, I mean, if she gets it, come on, but
Right. So, for the last 20 minutes, does anybody want to ask us any questions? I asked a question. Here we go. I asked that question because I can't be the friend or family member that is irrational. But as time goes on, not as I get older, with time, I'm getting better. Perfect. Nobody expects you to get it in a day. Well, how do you handle a person with mental illness that may sometimes be irrational? Do you show them grace, which I think so, and still talk to them, or just leave them alone because you know them? I think you deal with them with grace and patience. I think if you love anybody, a person, cat, dog, whatever it is, you will deal. Of course, yes. You won.
Yeah.
You won. So I think you deal with, if you love anything, you deal with it with grace. You may love the project that you did, the vision board that you created, and you may not want to destroy it. So you're going to take it off the wall with grace. When your husband tries to, stuff it in the basement, you say, ho, I made that. You use some grace with that. So does pride play a role in those hard conversations?
Sometimes.
I'm getting a little sweaty.
Sometimes. I believe that pride will definitely take place in some hard conversations. But I don't think it plays hard in a person that wants to talk to the person. It may play hard in a person that don't want to comprehend. They may not want to comprehend because they don't want to hear. Some people don't like, the truth hurts. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes people don't want to hear that because the truth does can hurt you. So a lot of times that when you say certain things to people, they don't want to hear that.
Right.
So pride might get in the way of you being able to have that conversation with somebody.
So just because it's so Spade, I mean that's a double-headed sword, because I care about you. We need to have this conversation. You need to put your pride to the side, because this conversation can make or break some stuff.
Yeah, but I do think that pride will get in the way of somebody, and I think it's more so because people don't want to hear the truth about theirself. So okay. I think that's more. I think that's more of the things. Some people don't want to hear the truth about themselves, or hear somebody else talk to them in a way that might expose them in some kind of way. So I suffer from high anxiety and depression. I couldn't handle it without God and my beautiful family. Des, you know what? Me too. I have high anxiety and I have panic attacks.
So do I. My anxiety is through the roof, and I think that exacerbated. The 3 weeks that I was dealing with the whole breast issue. And I can joke about it now, but prior to today, I was a mess. Like, clearly I'm drinking my wine, a little sweaty. Like, I really needed to decompress, once I got the result that I was okay. If you really love that person,
that part.
Pride.
Mm-hmm. That part.
If you are the recipient, it may be a factor. That's true, John. But know your audience.
But but why would it be a problem with pride if you're the one that's wanting to talk to somebody else? If you're wanting to have that conversation with somebody, why would pride be the issue if you want to have the conversation?
Good point. Anxiety, me too. I'm getting better. Yes, with prayer. Child, all of us. My anxiety is and it's not necessarily something that's like a hindrance to everything. It's just it's around, but I don't let it control me. And I don't want to misuse the word or misuse the term or misuse the diagnosis. Anxiety comes in different forms. One would think anxiety could really be excitement. Excitement could be lead into nerves. So we really can't just put things in its own box, because it's
That's
different
true.
for different people.
Because I don't have so much regular anxiety. I have social anxiety. So like my social anxiety, I can't really do too much of too many people at one time. Like that's a lot for me. A lot of times if I, I usually will go to more so like the people that I know that I'm used to, that, and I'll stay there. Like I
So
will
when we
sit
go to the elbow, that's
yeah,
somewhere,
like
that's a staple.
right. But I
That's
stay and I won't move too much. Like I'll stay in a place and I can look around, but I'm not, my social anxiety is bad. I don't stay too long anywhere. Like, 2 hours is my max. Anywhere I gotta go. I cannot stay in, but that social anxiety and I think regular anxiety is two different
they
two
are.
different things. But
They are.
I have panic attacks, which are, different than everything else, which they get bad to the point that sometimes like I can't pull it together. Like I can't, for a long time I couldn't go away with my kids by myself because the panic attacks were so bad. So it all depends, I guess, but basically panic attacks are something like a thought that just went too far. And then
Yep.
you start
I
to,
was just going to say that.
yeah, and then you continue to start to think, or when you're there, it just goes up and up and up that you just can't
That
kind of come
snowball
back.
effect that you were referring to. Miss
Yeah,
Sonia said we're not going to claim anxiety attacks. I know that's right, Miss Sonia.
I
They may
wish.
not want to hear what you have to say, especially if you have the issue or issues. I see shit get blown up over nothing due to bad delivery. I
Yeah,
definitely have social anxiety, and I have it bad.
yeah.
Deandra, you are very quiet. Even when you come on your podcast, and it's not like everybody's around you, but because all these eyes are looking at you, and I know what it felt like. So I say that to say I can see it sometimes when you're hosting, and if you go back to my beginner shows, if you will, or the shows in the beginning, I look like you, a deer in headlights sometimes, but you're getting comfortable and you do really well. Question: do women understand when they are being irrational? Sometimes. Meaning, knowing when it's anxiety, depression, and or just flow is on the way. I feel that when women are in these particular states is when they're most irate. So do you guys recognize this? I definitely can
Yeah.
agree with all of that, Big E. You got to know your lady. Big E, we're not gonna use me. I won't use me. But I know that I'm a snap case. So now that I don't have I still have the hormones because I have my ovaries. So there is still a piece of hormonal behavior monthly that I go through. So when you're talking about that irate behavior, for me it looks like tears. Um Again, I think that plays a big part in it. Big E, really good question, very thought through, because
Hmm.
again, we just don't want to be assholes for nothing. And sometimes I don't want to cry for nothing.
But it happens.
If I'm eating a hot dog, never mind, because y'all always do something with that. But if the bun breaks, I'm pissed. Okay, not all the time.
I feel you, Xanax.
Nah, my social anxiety is weird. I can go to courts or concerts and basketball games, but not. But when it comes to certain
When it comes to
talking to
this certain
somebody, talking
somebody.
to somebody that they're a real one is the issue. A real one-on-one is the issue for me. So one-on-ones. I'm gonna talk to you further, Erica. It's really odd for me in that way. Maybe it's because I can go and just do my own thing. And being solo is awesome too, because you know yourself. So you're
Hmm.
always going to protect, you. And if that conversation doesn't serve you, if that situation doesn't serve you, if
Check
those
your calendar.
then don't do
Bro,
them.
Brett.
You can feel it coming, like random arguments. Yeah, you can. I think it has a lot to do with that hormonal piece, that emotional piece. Tiff, what do you mean when you say not all the time? It could just be the woman too. She could just be, that could just be her. And Tiff probably is just referring to that. Like that just could be the makeup of the woman. I got a total hysterectomy and to have endometriosis. And if you have that and you know the irritability, 3 weeks. Yep. Bleeding and pain. Yeah, I suffered from it. And I'm post 7 months and I feel great. So I don't think I'm mood swingy as much as I was. And I was in a lot of pain, you know. Do you guys believe that men have mood swing as well? Yes, I do. I think they're called adult tantrums. And do you guys give them grace that you expect? Absolutely. However, there's that piece. You're a man. And my folks, he gets a little perturbed when I say that. Like he can't get upset. No, you can get upset. But just come on with all of it. It's too much. Sometimes you get too upset, and that's when it bothers me. Biggie, you want to pop up for that? No. And it's, you know, that's just how I feel about it. You can be upset. Right. You can have a moment, but you don't have a hormonal dysfunction like I do. Flo don't come see you. Life on life terms. But does that make you emotional and irate? Like I'm crying because there's no ice in the ice maker. That's annoying. I'm mad because you're late.
That is annoying.
I'm mad because you're 5 minutes late. Not 20, but 5. And I'm legit pissed off. So those are the things. Yes, please. So you can explain, you know, where you at with it. Because again, I believe that men shouldn't have adult tantrums.
Reek, you described it as adult tantrums. I said mood swings. Yeah, you just moved the goalpost and added your sauce on it so it fits your narrative.
Well, that's why I said, come on. I said, come on. I said, come on. I said, come on.
So I as a man, excuse me, thank you first and foremost for welcoming me into Absolutely. The conversation. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Ladies are doing a stellar job. Hopefully we can get the guests to come back and double back.
Okay. I
know it was some
I told her that.
Yeah. But Thanks, when it comes to men having mood swings, and Reek, I think what you inferred or what you implied is very, very toxic. Very, very toxic. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies, I'm gonna give you guys a cheat sheet, right? And I'm gonna get out of here. And y'all, you're more than welcome to go into overtime because your guest just got backstage.
Perfect.
And she's a beautiful little girl with her. I believe that is.
Wonderful.
Ladies, I'm going to give you guys a cheat sheet. Because you hear that question. I know some of you get triggered. What do you bring to the table other than sex, right? I'm going to give you guys the cheat sheet. And this triggered me when Reek said what she said about, you know, her relationship and how she treats Tim when he has some emotional concerns, right? What men are looking for is for you to allow them to be vulnerable. Men need a safe space to express our emotions. We need a safe space for us to feel things without being judged or looked at as some choice words women like to say, right? So when men ask you that, we're not looking for you to bring money or sex or like it's a bunch of different things. But most importantly, we looking for somebody to bring us safety, give us a safe place to land.
Yeah.
As Black men, when we go out the door every day, there's a certain level of awareness that we have to have 24/7, 365. And it's coming from every fucking angle, whether it be other jealous guys, whether it comes from the police, whether it comes from businesses that we patron, whether it comes from random people in their cars when you walking down the street. We're stereotyped so bad that we are, we are animals in their eyes. And it's not just white people. We're animals in everybody's eyes. We're apex predators to them, which means we always have to have this very hyper sense of awareness. And when we go through mood swings, understand this: it's nothing to do with you. It's just that the weight of all of that bearing down on us, when we get back home, as Superman would call it, we need that to be our fortress of solitude. Meaning, allow us to express our frustration, allow us to feel the emotions that we're going through without judgment. Without, I've heard women say that's bitch assness. Niggas is acting like bitches. Niggas is acting like women. Niggas is too emotional. But you guys aren't responsible for everybody's well-being. Anytime Tim steps out the house with you and or his son, he is all that shit that I just described to you. He's going through. He has the added pressure of making sure you guys are protected at all times. That's a lot. That is draining all the time. So if he needs space to vent, he's supposed to be able to do that with you without you denying him the opportunity or making him feel bad about it. Because that toxic masculinity, all women cry about when it comes to especially black men, is because we don't have a soft place to land nowhere. And if you know a place, let me know because I'm looking for it. But that
I know a place. I know a place.
Opportunity. I appreciate it. I'm gonna get out the way. Your guest is backstage. I want to get her on. Thank you. Great audience, by the way. I love you guys' audience too as well.
Thank you. Awesome.
Thanks.
So he's just gonna say that and get off.
Well, she's backstage.
Hi.
She's been trying to get on for so long. I don't want to deny her.
No, I know I'm messing with you, Big
Go
E.
ahead. I'll listen to the response.
Nah, it's gonna be too long. Go ahead, come back.
Okay.
All right. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for
It's
showing
been
up.
a long day.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was trying. I promise I was trying.
I went through so many avenues to try to get on this StreamYard.
And you're here.
And
Yeah.
we're so happy to have you. Now, Miss Reynolds, how do you say your first name? How do you
Sakia.
pronounce it? Sakia?
Yes.
Perfect. That's
Sakia.
what I thought, Speedo.
Okay.
Sakia. Okay. Miss Sakia, now get into what exactly your title is,
Mhm.
what certifications you have in holistic healing and medicine as a practitioner. And we're going to start from there, and then I'm going to lead into other stuff as you go.
Okay, so I am a certified hijama practitioner. I have a certification in acupuncture as well. I've been doing hijama for about 5 years. Those both are my certifications in holistic care. It's actually Chinese medicine that I specialize in. Hijama is a technique. Those are my birds you hear in the background. Hijama is the technique. It's actually cupping, which is the Chinese medicine. Hijama is actually more of a technique than a certification. Like it really just goes into more. I guess I want to say like it's an extended version of the holistic care.
Okay.
So cupping is very non-invasive. People think that I'm sorry.
I have a question
Yeah.
because Sakia, I saw it and I saw blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you put the cup on my skin
Mhm.
here, and then it's going to suck toxins out.
So in traditional dry cupping, yes. Okay, so that's the dry cupping. You see, like if you see any videos where you see people put the cups on and then it's like, you get that dark circle ring around your arm. I think like a lot of athletes get it because they get dry cupping, which is it's therapeutic. It helps. It's effective. However, hijama is a little more intense. So when you see the blood, what I'm doing is I'm making these superficial scrapes on your skin. So I put the cup on first, and then I take it off. I put the superficial scrapes on your pores, and then I put the cup back on. And then when the cup goes back on, it releases those toxins from your body. So it technically sucks. So the cups just serves as like a suction. Right. So when I put the cup on, it basically just I suck all the oxygen and the air out of the cup, and then your blood coagulates, meaning that it just it turns into that jelly type form that you saw.
Right.
which is not runny. But those are just the toxins. That's not the blood that's I'm removing from your body. So I'm not like cutting and bleeding you. A lot of people
Right.
are misinformed. They think that, okay, this is a very invasive like procedure. It really isn't. It's so non-invasive. I definitely practice keeping infection down. So, I don't, everything is sterile.
Right.
So, and I started using after like COVID, I started using more disposable products.
Okay.
So it can be less, anything you do that considered a procedure, you can get infection. So
How often
it's
would you
still-
recommend the cupping?
I'm sorry.
How often would you recommend to get the cupping procedure done?
You can get cupping as often as you like. Like you can get it every day if you want to. I wouldn't recommend hijama every day. But if you're doing something super strenuous, like if you work out really intense workouts, or if you're an athlete, or you do something very strenuous with your muscles and your body, then I would recommend that you get dry cupping almost like every other day if you can.
Wow.
If you are like somebody who has an ailment, like if you're sick, if you have cancer, or if you have diabetes or something like that you can actually control, like something that you can get medication for, and you can kind of, like cancer goes into remission eventually. And it's not, you can survive cancer. With
Yes.
the technology we have now, cancer could be gone out of your body if you do all of the proper, things, eat healthy, change your diet, change your lifestyle. And when I say diet, I don't mean like just the foods that we eat. I mean like a lifestyle change. I mean completely like, doing things the total opposite of what you was doing prior to your diagnosis. And cupping just comes in that form because it's a form of holistic health that actually is a cleansing. It really cleanses your organs, your body, like crazy. And I get cupped. I mean, I'm a cupper, but I get cupped. I believe in this therapy so much that I started it. And how I started doing cupping and acupuncture is I suffer with infertility.
Okay.
And I have a daughter. I have a 2-year-old daughter now, and a lot of course, I'm religious, but a lot of my beliefs came from holistic care because we don't always have to pop a pill for everything. We
Right.
don't always have to do invasive surgeries to have things done. Sometimes you have to like really believe in your body, know what it does. And as women, we know that our bodies were meant to, bear children. You
Yes.
know what I mean? So it's just one of those things that you have to like help your body along the way because it already knows what to do.
Right.
So I started, researching cupping. I started researching acupuncture and, abdominal massages and things like that. And I start doing the work. I put the work in, and it works. And I tell people, like, you can't just decide that one day I want to have a baby and then the baby comes. If you're having issues, you have to find out what those issues are.
Right.
And then you have to, work at it. You have to go at it. You have to do the work.
So, Sakia, that's what you did when you were diagnosed from, from a doctor, if you will, that you had infertility issues. You said, okay, thank you. And then you went on your own journey and your own
Absolutely.
methodology and conceived without the help of any man-made medicine.
Absolutely. Like, so, I with assistance from my doctors,
Right.
I did the work. So I took it from there. I got my diagnosis. I knew what was wrong with me. And that's the first thing. Like a lot of people have these issues and they're afraid to find out exactly what's going on. So they just assume like, oh, I can't have children. Or the doctors tell them like, it's going to be hard for you to have children, but that doesn't rule it out. That doesn't mean that you cannot conceive. Yes. Okay, 1 minute. It's my daughter.
That's fine. Come on. We love it. That's fine.
They tell you that, it may be hard for you, but they don't say that, okay, you cannot have children. A lot of people say, oh, the doctor told me I can't have kids. And it's hard for me to believe that. I work in medicine and I've never heard a doctor physically tell somebody that they're not going to be able to, unless they had some real severe issues. That's a whole nother topic. But just naturally, I've never heard a doctor tell a patient, you're not going to be able to have children.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've heard things like, it may be difficult. It may take
Right.
time to You may have to
Right.
take some other avenues, or you may
Yeah.
have to do this. And I think when people hear that, they hear what they want to hear and just kind of run with it and don't
And they
think
give
about
up.
what they have to do.
Sometimes they give up.
Exactly. Right. So, when I heard that it would be difficult for me, and I'm 45, I had my daughter at 41.
Oh,
Wow.
you look amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I had my daughter at 41, and she's healthy. She's smart, like she has no issues. And they put a lot of doubt in your head too. They tell you, you have a daughter, you're going to be high risk pregnant. Your baby may have some birth issues and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, I'm healthy. You know what I
Did
mean?
you
I eat right. I exercise. I do what I'm supposed to do. Maybe
did you go back to the doctor that told you that you wouldn't be able to have a baby, and like, did you go
So
back to that
my
doctor?
doctor never told me that I wouldn't be able to conceive.
Okay.
My
It's
doctor told me that
infertility
it would
issues.
Just
be
infertility.
Harder.
Okay.
basically what she told me was my chances
Okay.
were very slim
Okay.
to conceive. Yeah.
And
So
you
that,
just
of
go
course,
back
that's
to that doctor.
yeah. So
Okay.
that gives you a whole lot of doubt. That just kind
Right.
of make you feel like it ain't gonna happen. You know
Because
what I
yeah,
mean?
that's
I'm
what I
not
would have
gonna-
heard. Once she would have said what she said, I would have heard that I can't have no kids. So
Right.
that's just my
Exactly.
craziness,
Exactly. And wording is everything. Like how you address a situation. I feel like these doctors need to be retrained. You know what I mean? As
Bedside
far
manner is
as
everything.
giving information, because a lot of times they give information and they forget that you're not talking to a medical person. You're talking to a regular everyday person who has no medical background.
Right.
They don't really know the terms, so when you tell somebody, they internalize things. They say, okay, well, what does that really mean? And if a doctor doesn't know how to explain it, because they're so like conditioned
Right.
to have these conversations with other medical staff opposed to having it with a regular person. That's why they send the nurses in and they send the medical assistants in and things like that, to have these personal conversations, because they don't really know how to communicate the way that they should. And I really feel like they need to be retrained, but
That's
that probably will never
right.
happen.
That's another story.
So
Yeah.
where are you located? Where is your boutique, or where is your office located that you practice?
So my studio is at 4663 Stanton Avenue. It's in the Germantown section of Philadelphia. I've been there for about four months. My previous location, yeah, thank you. My previous location was in Fishtown. But I felt like it wasn't in an area where my client, and it was great, but I felt like my clients was traveling too far. It just wasn't a convenient location for my clients. And plus the people that I was trying to reach, like a lot of people don't know about hijama. They have no idea what it is.
I didn't.
They have no idea what benefits it has.
Right.
And I was trying to reach a different audience. I wanted our people. You know what I mean? I'm Black, I'm Muslim, I'm young, I'm a female. I have like I kind of cornered the market with Chinese medicine, with Black, Muslim, female,
I was very impressed by that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when I kind of went into the area that I was in, it wasn't a target. I just wanted to honestly get the information out there and keep it real, make some money. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when I realized how many of our people didn't know about this therapy, about this alternative medicine, I wanted to target our area. I wanted to say, we need us. A lot of females, it's so taboo to talk about infertility. It's so taboo to talk about underlying diseases that we have that we can get rid of, but we don't know how. Yes. And I wanted to make that information available for us, you know what I mean, and have these conversations where they're comfortable conversations, opposed to just being like, I don't want to talk about this because it hurts that my doctor told me I can't have a baby, or I'm overweight and I don't know how to get rid of this weight, or I'm diabetic and I'm skinny, like, you know what I mean, like these conversations never had, because people associate diabetes with obesity.
Right.
There's a lot of women that's my size and are diabetic because they eating habits are terrible, but they just don't gain weight.
Right.
Hi. How do you spell the word of the procedure that you practice? So spell it slow because people want to write it down.
Sure. It's HIJAMA.
Thank you. So the services, do you have do you do monthly? Is it do we just come to you for, is it reoccurring? Like what would you suggest individuals, should they a course that you offer 7 classes for this or a monthly class for that? How do we go subscription option? How do we go about that?
So right now I do not have a subscription option. However, I do have a website. It's hijamacupping.therapy@glossgenius.com.
I love it.
And you can go there. It gives you all the information about my services, what services I provide. I do offer services for infertility, which is a package.
Wow.
Okay.
And you get 4 treatments. And I just want to keep in mind that because people don't know about hijama and don't really know what it is, when they come to me, they are so afraid, but this is something they want to try. They're like, anything is worth a try if it's healthy, if it's holistic, if it can help me. So, the first 30 minutes of your session is a massage. And the massage is to relax your mind, to relax your body, to get that tension down. By the time I start your hijama, you don't even know that it's happening. You're like, what?
Okay.
This is it? Because you're so relaxed. And I feel like your mental controls everything that goes on after. You know what I mean? So once you're in a calmer state and I took that tension away and, you're more relaxed. And in my environment, it's very calming. Like I have I have the candles going. I have, so it's very comfortable. And I try to provide that because when you come into somewhere or something new and you have no idea about it, you want to feel like you're in a good place. You don't want to feel like,
and that they can trust you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm trying to get. And this is for us. I don't really do men at all. I don't service men.
Okay.
I service the women, the sisters, us. And I have a lot of female clients.
Wonderful.
A lot. And I've
We'll
also
more after
helped
today.
some women get pregnant.
So
yeah, I mean, I've helped one particular female that I was helping. She went through 6 rounds of IVF and it failed. She came to me. She did 4 sessions. She did my package, and at the 3rd session, she called me and she was like, "You won't believe this," and I was like,
"No way."
Like, pregnant, yeah, and she has a healthy little son now. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I will see you guys next week. This is beautiful. However, I have to go right now. Love you, Erica. Oh, I love you too.
Oh,
Erica, we'll be in touch.
Bye.
We'll definitely be in touch. Thank you so much, and safe travels to where you're going.
Yes.
So Sakia, so detoxing. Do you have? I know the cupping or the hijama, like it's all encompassed in one. But do you have, when do you have other forms of detoxing that you offer? Or is it just the cupping?
It's the cupping, the acupuncture, and I also offer lymphatic drainage massages.
What is that?
Yeah. So draining massages is for your circulation. So sometimes we get that stagnant blood going. We don't know why our joints, muscles hurt, things like that. They just hurt. Like sometimes we may go to the gym 3 days later, 4 days later, we're in a lot of pain. That's because we're not using a lot of those muscles that we use when we go to the gym. So they ache. And the lymphatic drainage just help break all that. It's called fissure. It breaks it up. So now your body is loose. You have that looseness in your body. You don't feel tight. That's why they always say like stretch before you go to the gym. Get a good stretch, get your circulation going, get your heart rate up, things like that. But we don't. We go to the gym and we work out and we go home and shower and and then we do what we do. But that massage just helps with breaking up that fissure. It gets all of your body in line, basically. So
Miss Sonia wants to know how to connect with you again. Can you say your website again?
So it is hijama.cupping. Is she writing this down?
Yeah.
It's hijama.cupping@glossgenius.com. Mama. Yes.
So you have testimonial, you have reviews that you can get pregnant if you have infertility issues. Come see sis. Sakia is around. Sakia, where are you located again?
So my address is 4663 Stanton Avenue, and it's the zip is 19144. It's the Hijama Studio.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Sato, did you have any other questions about Chinese medicine? I think I had. Thank you, Big E. That's our producer. Thank you so much. So when Chinese medicine, along with the holistic healing, are there herbs and different sounding equipment? Like, is there what else is there to that you offer? Acupuncture, are those the needles?
Those are the needles, yeah. And see, it's very misconstrued about acupuncture as well, because a lot of people think that acupuncture it hurts, and it doesn't. So that's why they're afraid of it. Like, a lot of people are afraid of what they don't know, so they won't even try it. But acupuncture actually is one of those therapies that you get immediate relief. Like, if you have any bad circulation, and the reason I keep bringing up infertility is because a lot of my clients come to me for infertility issues, because I'm a client, basically. So they come to me and they talk to me and they open up about certain things. So when I talk to them about their infertility and what issues they're having, acupuncture always comes to play, because a lot of times they have that bad circulation going to their reproductive system, and they don't even know it. And this is why you have the PCOS, and you have the stagnant blood, and or the missed periods and things like that, because you're not getting the proper circulation to those organs. And we need those organs to function properly to be able to house a baby. You know what I mean? And like, it's so crazy, because a lot of people don't know that. They just think that, I get a period every month. What's the problem? And it really don't be a problem. It's just timing and getting your body in line. So that's the reason why I offer that service. But also acupuncture is for pain. Like, it really locks in on your muscle and joint pain, because of bad circulation. Bad circulation causes so many problems that we don't even know about. It actually helps with like people who have heart conditions as well, because again, heart condition is associated with bad circulation. We get clots and things like that. So yeah, so a lot of people don't know that. So if you have good circulation, you're preventing, and this is why holistic health is usually a preventive therapy. It's a preventive treatment, because sometimes some illnesses are too far gone that medicines, surgeries, holistic care, it can't fix. So we want to tackle these things prior to getting sick, so we can have a quality of life. Like we're young, so we don't see the effects of what's going on in our body as we age, but we feel it. You know what I mean? And who wants to be sick all the time, or broken up, or can't travel, or can't do these things? So if
debilitating. Yep.
Right, exactly. So if you do these things early in life, and you just have this regimen where you're taking care of yourself, if it's weekly or monthly, and self-care, it's not like one of those like, oh, I'm gonna do this every now and
day. Yeah, no,
this is something that you have to put it make a part of your life, like your lifestyle, daily, at least twice a month. Like,
and if your self-care is reading a book silently, without the kids, without your husband, with the TV off, in your nook, that's your self-care piece for the day.
Like reading a book, meditating, praying, taking a walk, hugging a tree.
I love that. I love hugging the tree. I love it.
Yeah, so like these things, like people don't realize the small things. Like, sometimes you get overwhelmed and you don't know what to do. Go outside and just get some air. I don't care if it's like the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Walk to your door, walk around your house, walk to the corner and get some fresh air, because it clears your mind. That's what we need, like, all the time. We need mental clarity. We need to be able to think, and not always under pressure. And everybody's so wound up. Like, everybody's so like, oh, I don't have any patience. And this is because you can't really function the way that you want to. And, it becomes overwhelming. And even as like parents, we get overwhelmed. You want to be yelling at your kids. You're like, but they didn't even do anything. You know what I mean? It is you. It's you.
Because if you don't take the time to be your best self, you're no good to anybody else.
Anybody else. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the focus of like just holistic care. It's really just self-care. You know what I mean? It's preventing the things that we can prevent, because we could prevent diabetes. We can prevent certain cancers. We can prevent certain illnesses in our lives and not have to be like, oh, now I have it, what do I do? You know what I mean? Like, we can actually work towards not getting them. You know what I mean?
Perception, switching it out, doing something about it, preventative care, being proactive instead of reactive. Get to the appointment. Do your whatever you need to do to figure out what the ailment is. Do something about it.
Do something about it. And holistic care is not one of those things where you say, I'm just going to cut out going to my doctor altogether. No, you go to your annuals. Yes, you go to your gyne visits. You go to your, because these things work hand in hand. They're not just like, okay, I do holistic care. I don't need anything else. I take supplements. I don't need to take any medicine. Like, no, how about if you take diabetic medication, wean yourself off of it. So then you don't have to take it anymore, but you know that it's safe to say, I don't need it, opposed to I'm not taking it.
And then, and then Sakia, to know that you made the change, that in itself is going to fill your cup and fuel you in a way that you've never seen before. Because Sakia said, you have to change everything, not just what you assume, your train of thought, what you did before. You can't do on this new course.
Right.
To see the results that you want to see you really, after doing 6 rounds of IVF, which is so expensive, but the love and the dedication and passion is there. But after 4 rounds with sis, it was done. Come on. It's within. Wellness is within. Resilience is within. The two go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You can save your own life with holistic healing.
You can. And it's all about educating yourself as well. Like, you have to know, and that's why I said, like, don't just cut out going to your doctor. Don't do that. Like, I would recommend always going to your appointments, figuring out what's going on, and also know who you are, know your health. Like, don't go to your doctor and expect your doctor to know you, know what's going on with you. Because if you ever went to any doctor's appointment, the first thing they do is ask you, what's the problem?
Right.
And then they go from there. They
your history, your family history. They don't know you.
They don't know you, and everything is textbook. So they just going by what they went to school and, the overall. You're not an overall person. You're an individual. So, like, what happening with Tom down the street is not happening with Mary.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So you have to be able to go in there and say, listen, last week my arm was bothering me. My chest hurt the other day. My neck was, giving me problems, and I think it may be associated with me eating this. So you have to go in there and give them a full. And honestly, people always say, "Oh, my doctor don't respect me." If you go in there like that, your doctor is going to respect you.
Right.
They're going to work with you, opposed to just telling you what you need for you, because you're the patient. You know what's going on with you.
You
need to be able to communicate that information with your doctor, because your doctor is only your assistant. He works for you.
Say that.
You know what I mean? And we need to all educate ourselves on that, because your doctor is not here to save your life. He's a business. You know what I mean? He's a business, and he's going to keep, when you gone and dead, he
gonna see somebody else.
Right.
Gonna get
the next person.
Right.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, so we have to save ourselves, and I just feel like, this therapy is one of those things that we can start. You know what I mean? Where you can start and just add that to everything that you're doing
to enhance your situation. This is an enhancement, ladies.
And exactly, it's an enhancement. Absolutely, it's an addendum.
Right, exactly. I love that. Do you guys have any questions in the audience, our viewers? Any specific questions for Sakia before we wrap up? Any specific questions? I know Miss Sonia wanted some information. I know Big E put the address up. So again, please reach out to her. I know I am. Would you recommend this for older people who have
Absolutely. Absolutely. Older people, you are welcome. I'm older. I'm older. Older people, you are welcome. For arthritis, I treat my mom with acupuncture. She has arthritis in her hands, really, really bad. So, and she has a lot of movement in her hands. She still works full time. It's not a cure, but it does help. It helps prevent the pain that you would possibly be in, and it weans you off the medication. They put you on a lot of medication for arthritis, for pain, for just a lot of things, and like we don't want to do that because we know that medications affect other things, and
Right.
you want mobility in your hand, but you don't want your liver not functioning. You know what I mean? So
Sakir, when you do the acupuncture, is it a number of needles that you use? Like, how do you know when enough's enough? How do you know is something like sucking up in the needle or something?
So when you do acupuncture, you're trained to know pressure points. So anytime anybody comes to me with any issues, I always ask them. I do a consultation with them because all your treatments are customized. Like nobody has the same treatment when you come to my studio. Everybody's treatment is customized. I tell them that because I want them to know that I'm working for you. Like this is your treatment. This is something that you're telling me what's going on, and I'm zeroing in on that issue personally. It's not one of those things where everybody get the same exact therapy. So the pressure points that I use for hands are usually like thumbs, and I use the pinky, the forehead. I know it sounds scary. Yeah, your earlobe,
Yeah.
but those are your pressure points for your hands. And we have pressure points that tackles your heart, that tackles your liver, that tackles your feet. Some people have really bad foot issues, and who doesn't want to walk? You know what I mean? Or
Right.
not be in pain when they walk somewhere. So you have pressure points in your feet that's associated with your heart or your neck, or you know what I mean, your brain. So it's so in depth. Like we could be here for hours to talk about certain
Right.
certain points, but the overall thing is like anytime anybody come to me, I sit them down, I talk to them about their personal issues, even if they don't have an issue. What is your goal here today? You know what I mean? What are you trying to achieve? And I also want to put out there that these therapies does not work for everybody. And that's just a realistic comment. But I would always recommend that you try it at least once to see if it is for you.
Right.
Because everything doesn't work. Just like if a doctor put you on a pill, it may or may not work. You know what I mean? It's like
It's not making no promises, ladies.
Right.
He's all up in the such and such.
Look, so don't hit us if oh, you told me that. She's telling y'all right now, it may or may not work.
Yeah. And what I can guarantee is that you'll feel good.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that it's going to cure your problem, or you're going to have, but it does feel good.
Subsides it. You do the work. You eat better. You exercise. You do your exercise. Get your circulation about. And go see Sakia, and it enhances. That's what I believe she meant by the enhancement. It's not going to cure. It can, if you have infertility issues and then you become pregnant, it cured it.
Right.
But so it's to each its own. So
you have to do the work too. You have to change it. It's like a reset. Reset your mind. Just reset your heart. And affirmations. I'm telling you, they work. Like speak what you need into existence. Speak what you want into existence, and believe in that. You know what I mean? And it goes a long way, because you have to ask for what you want. You have to, like, I hate to say it in this way, but this is how people relate to it. You have to throw it into the universe. You know what I mean? And like, I don't use that term because I'm religious, but outside of, to be more relatable to people who are non-religious, sometimes you have to just speak things into existence. You have to throw it into the universe, ask for what you want, and believe in it. You know what I mean? Stand firm on that. Stand 10 toes on it. You know what I mean? And it will happen, but you can't give up on your belief. If it don't happen next week, you can't be like, oh my God, like that
was a waste. Yeah.
Yeah, because again, I'm 45. I had my daughter at 41. I found out I had infertility issues at 28. You know what I mean? So it's been a long journey, but I'm here. You know what I mean? Like,
and she's here.
And she's here, exactly. And she's healthy. She's smart. My daughter, she's like she's beyond smart. Like, so, you know, it's a blessing. And I specifically asked for everything in her. You know what I mean? So
and you got it.
And I got it.
And that's dope. Sakia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
on
having
Women's
me.
Wellness Wednesday on the BEN Network. Please come back. You know, we definitely have more questions. I know that, you know, a lot of people were waiting to speak with you and to have the questions. So thank you for showing up for yourself and showing up for us.
Thank you. And I just want to say my IG is hijamacupping.therapy. So if you have any questions, you can always hit me. I always answer my DMs. I'm very transparent. I'm open. I'm honest. I have nothing to hide. So just DM me, hit me up. I even leave my phone number on there so you can call me, text me, messages. I'm
she's
here
available. She says she's available.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much.
For having me, guys.
Thank you so much. We will see you all next week on Women's Wellness Wednesday.
Yep.
Bye, y'all.
Say bye.
Bye.